This is the EIR Podcast, where we interview entrepreneurs in residence with your host, Henrik de Geer.
Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Duncan Walker. I'm the co-founder of a software platform called Jebbit, which was founded at Boston College. I also am the managing director of SSC Venture Partners, which is a venture fund accelerator and mentor network for Boston College students and alumni. And I am the entrepreneur in residence with Boston College's Shea Center for Entrepreneurship.
Duncan, how are you involved as an entrepreneur in residence?
My primary focus is working with all of the dorm room startups on campus, both undergraduate and postgrad. So on any given day, I might have 8 or 9 companies coming through my office, and we can work together on some very strategic topics or some very tactical topics. So we might talk about business strategy. We might answer broad questions like, how should I get started with my business? Or we might talk about specifics like particular software architecture, product development processes, marketing strategies for user acquisition. And then I'll also work with the broader Boston College community, developing Boston College's approach towards entrepreneurship. So right now, we're actually redefining a lot of our curriculum and the personas that we are supporting on campus in order to maximize the impact that we can deliver to our students.
Duncan, what are the biggest challenges and successes you've seen as an entrepreneur in residence?
It's a good question. The biggest challenges that we're facing right now include the perception that a lot of students have towards entrepreneurship. So when I'm talking to students, I hear the same 3 things over and over again. I hear, I thought entrepreneurship was a business thing. I'm not a business student, so I didn't think I could get involved. I hear, I don't have an idea. I don't know where to start, so I don't think I can get involved with the Entrepreneurship Center. Don't I need an idea to start a business and get involved? And then finally, I hear, I wish I got involved with this sooner. Why didn't I know the center was here? Why didn't I know the social group was here? Why didn't I get involved? Why didn't I reach out in freshman year, for example, instead of during junior year? And that challenge, those 2 challenges rather, and that one silver lining have been huge drivers in the work we've been doing at Boston College recently, helping students to understand what entrepreneurship really is. So in order to change their perceptions, we focus a lot on what the entrepreneurship mindset is. We teach 4 values: initiative, adaptability, resilience, and self-awareness. Those are incredibly transferable skills that every individual can build. Of course, we also teach the hard skills like software development, product management, user acquisition, lead gen, sales, fundraising, accounting, legal, and so forth. We found without the mindset, without the focus on those 4 values, it's very hard for students to understand why entrepreneurship is applicable to them. The final thing that we're doing in order to overcome that challenge is we're launching a new campaign on campus that's focused on entrepreneurship as a tool to create your own opportunities, helping students understand that this isn't just about creating a business. This is a tool. Entrepreneurship is a tool that enables you to overcome any challenge. If you want to start a YouTube channel, entrepreneurship is for you. If you're trying to launch your first album or get your first gig downtown, entrepreneurship is for you. If you're trying to start a club on campus, or if you're trying to get a gig at a stand-up comedy or open mic night, entrepreneurship is for you. So the campaign that we're launching is about creating your own opportunities, teaching yourself new skills. And it's titled, I Never Thought I Could, and so forth. So I never thought I would have my own startup. I never thought I could teach myself how to code. I never thought I'd have 20,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And these are all stories that we've seen come out of Boston College, using them to inspire the students on campus and using them to inspire the Boston Tech community and Boston College's alumni community to continue to contribute mentorship and support to our student body. In terms of successes, we've seen a number of really great companies coming out of Boston College who have given above and beyond back to the university, even in their first few years after school. We've already mentioned Jebit, the company that I co-founded, but there are other companies like Drizzly, an alcohol delivery company, NBD Nano, and every day companies are coming out of the woodwork, left, right, and center. SSE Venture Partners has made over 10 investments with its first and second funds. And we have a number of alumni who continue to come to us asking for opportunities to invest in these companies. So I would say the biggest success over the last 5 years as the Boston College Shea Center for Entrepreneurship has grown has been the number of companies founded successfully at BC that continue to operate and continue to give back to the community. And whilst that might sound a little bit tacky, I'm lucky enough to get to benefit from that every single day, being the point person on campus, communicating with our dorm room startups and connecting them to all of these resources being offered by the Boston Tech community and Boston College alumni. It's an incredibly inspiring and very energizing opportunity for me to get.
Duncan, what advice would you like to share with other EIRs?
My biggest personal challenge is balancing time between the meetings where people are asking for advice and help and resources, whilst working on some of the more strategic initiatives that can move our entrepreneurship center forwards. So one of the things I'm trying to do right now is build in that personal working time into my day, so that instead of having 10 meetings a day, maybe I have 7 and I have 3 hours in the morning to work on a strategic initiative for our entrepreneurship center. I've also been lucky enough to connect with a lot of students at a personal level. It's the reason that I'm so inspired to keep coming back to campus, but it hasn't come simply through a focus on entrepreneurship. I mentioned the mindset earlier, those 4 values: initiative, adaptability, resilience, and self-awareness. But there are many other things that are deeply personal values that can affect an individual's ability to be successful in entrepreneurship. And by having personal conversations and talking with students and being willing to help them out in other areas of their life beyond just the startups that they are building, I've seen a lot of them open up a lot more, be willing to share more information, which lets me be a lot more effective as a support for them. So I think my biggest bits of advice are build in some time for the strategic initiatives every single day, whether that's working on your university's venture competition or whether that is putting time into changing the perception of your entrepreneurship center on campus, or maybe that's just getting outside of the offices. It's so easy to sit in your entrepreneur in residence office all day, but taking a walk into the quad, into the dining hall and engaging students usually pays back to a great degree.
Duncan, where can we learn more about entrepreneurs in residence and your work as an EIR?
So from the other EIRs I've spoken to and from the podcast that I'm on now that I've been listening to, it's clear that everybody's days are very different. So I don't think there's one single resource that is going to tell us everything we need to know about EIRs. But I definitely recommend reaching out to 4 or 5 EIRs in your local community, whether they're at universities or venture capital groups or other similar groups. As far as the work at Boston College goes, if you Google the Shea Center for Boston College, Shea is spelled S-H-E-A, you'll find about all of the work happening there. And Boston College is also launching its brand new Schiller Institute, which is a $300 million investment in entrepreneurship, computer science, and the integrated sciences. So I highly recommend checking out the upcoming Schiller Institute at Boston College and staying up to date with the newsletter that's being sent out there. And I'm, of course, very, very happy to welcome anybody reaching out. So if this conversation has sparked anybody's interest, if anybody has some ideas that they would like to share or feedback for me, I would love to chat with that person and share about my experience as an entrepreneur in residence.
Great. Well, thanks, Duncan.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
For more about this, visit EIRpodcast.com. Don't forget to please subscribe, rate, and review. Tune in next week for the next episode. Thanks for listening.